in life, I've always been a curious child. And I've carried it into my adult life, into my sage phase. And what I mean by that is I've always looked at the why of the world. Okay. And so it's had me study physics. It's had me study great philosophers. It's had me study ancient history. It's had me spend some time with the Toltecs in Mexico. It's had me spend some time with the Hopi here in the United States. I actually took some ancient Egyptian, ancient Kabbalah studies. And of course, then I've studied all of the great world religions. And so what I love best in that curiosity, let me go back, in that curiosity, the one common theme was always the mystery school. The mystery school. And yet, nobody can really describe the mystery school. And there was always a common theme between them, and that's what was behind everything. And it was that golden thread. Well, I stumbled across you, Alon. I stumbled across the line. I don't even remember how it was, but it just happened to be at a pivotal point in my life that I was myself in the process of change and making some life choices. Okay. And then, I listened to your hour presentation, I think it was, and then I saw your master class, and I said, sure, why not? Why not? But I never really engaged. I got it because I liked what was said. I knew I was going to be getting to it. And then what was really intriguing to me was your team reached out to me. And they reached out and said, how come you haven't signed up for the healing session? How come you haven't gone into the healing sessions? And then I thought, okay, that's a nice sign from the universe that it's time for me to engage. So, and I didn't go into the healing sessions because they scared me a little bit. And the part that scared it wasn't that the healing session was that I might have to commit after 14 days. That I might have to commit after 14 days. And yet that was the best gift. That was the blessing. Because I found myself fortunately having time that I could be on those calls every day. That I could be doing the master class in the background, but also be doing the daily healings. And those are powerful healing sessions. And again, I'm still looking for the mystery school, but then all of a sudden I said, it's here. This brings all of my worlds together. This brings, including like the conversation about the 18-inch journey from the head to the heart, to just specifically talk a little bit. I'm from a biblical perspective, I love Genesis. I love going back to the beginning. And I'm not talking, and nor do I think you're talking, as Genesis being just the beginning when the Bible starts and creation starts, because it's Genesis beyond that, and that's what I thoroughly love. So it brought it all together to the point that I referred friends, especially when you did that 5 days of abundance. I said, hey, you guys, come try this out, because I like to bring my friends along. I like to suggest things to them. And a few of them will just automatically sign up. If I say, try this, they'll automatically sign up. But then I had others signing up, others going, wow, I could have had a V8. Then you announced that you were doing a retreat in Colorado. I had no idea what it was about. I just knew that it was mine to go to. And I signed up, as I talked to, because of what's going on in the world right now, I specifically elected to do virtual. And what I love with the retreat is that you made sure everybody was included, that you made sure everybody was treated as an individual, as well as that we had the tribe together and became a tribe, actually. And I love that you have the 4 weeks ahead of time and that you have the 4 weeks after, so that we can get it. And this is what the healing session does too, the daily healing sessions. So you get it in your bone. so that you own it, you get it in your muscle. And and at the retreat, because I'm not going to give the details of the retreat, but at the retreat truly was the mystery school, because it brought everything together and it gave it to me in my muscle. Then I'll go on to say, Alon, you're a great teacher, facilitator, shaman. Your care for individuals, um, even when they, in my perception, sometimes carry on a little longer. You gently bring them back to focus. You keep it so that the entire group is learning as well as the individuals learning. And there's definitely compassion, and you're coming from the heart in all you do. You definitely are coming from that Genesis point, that time of creation, the unconditional, what I'll call unconditional love, because I don't know that all of us really understand what that means. As far as the mystery school goes, you were a bright light, which allowed all of us to let our bright light show, whether we were actually there in person or we were on the virtual. And it was great, the number of people that were on virtually, because we became a sub tribe, and that we could also put ourselves in the gallery mode so we could see everybody in the gallery mode, or at least I should say I did. Okay. Um, I think what I would say to anybody that was thinking about taking any of your classes, if you're a seeker, if you're in the midst of change, if you want to get rid of any of the blocks that keep you from being the best that you can be, if you want to help return to your life purpose, return to your authenticity, take the class, take the master class. If you really want to take that deeper and do a deeper dive, definitely sign up for the level 1 and give yourself the gift of the retreat. Whether it's in person or online, you will be forever changed. And I feel very honored that I've had this opportunity, and I can't recommend any of the classes more than that. Do it, just do it, and that's it.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I massively appreciate your words and your preparation too, and having that.
And I didn't read it.
I know. I noticed. You know, it's from your heart, and you know, I to the best way I can put this into words is you just summed up what I know that I offer, that very few see, even the ones that even are in it. But you saw it all, and you saw the pieces, you saw how they all worked, and they all came together, and they really do congeal. There is a method to my madness,
Right.
And my craziness, I guess you could say. And yeah, thank you for seeing it. And I'm so glad. I had no idea that it had, at this level, brought everything together the way you just described. And I'm honestly, I'm kind of speechless. So I'm just.
Oh, I'll tell you, how do I want to say? You spoke my language. You spoke my language. You spoke all of my languages. It was just like, okay, this pulls it all together. And for me, like a perfect example was when I said, when we first lit up our halos, I up until now, up until that time, I didn't. As a child, I saw the auras of trees and stuff like that, and everybody thought I was nuts, right? Don't see them on people, but I saw the halos and they just glowed, and it was like, wow, wow.
Understanding where people are at, and I don't want to say the masses, but like the majority of, if I had to like put people at a certain wavelength, and it's not with any judgment I say that, it's just like at a certain level, like most of those people, when they hear even these things about the halo and the things we're talking about right now, if they aren't already looking for it, when they hear it, they're like, wait, what? Tell me more. You know, so it's even blown me away, because at first, for so long, and even in my master class, I kind of was on the edge in the webinar. I was on the edge when I was talking about some of the things I did, and I know that. you know, and before that webinar, I had never shared many of those things publicly because, you know, people are going to be like, okay, this guy lost it. He's crazy,
Right.
you know, but it was so well received. And, you know, all the messages and all the people who joined and people who sent us private emails letting us know, oh my gosh, for the first time, I feel like I can actually talk about these things. I've no, you know, just so it just has created so much trust. And so it's honestly blown my, whatever's left of my mind, you know, to just realize that there is a platform, there is a need, a desire for open form, open source communication around these types of subjects and this type of information. So anyway, I hear you and I agree with you. And then I also think, well, I think they can handle it.
And the truth is,
Yeah.
you know, more than anything, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
Truly.
That was very clear for me too.
Yeah.
In regards to how I stumbled across you, it's like, oh.
Wow, I love that. Okay, last question. For someone, and you kind of answered this, but for someone who's on the fence about attending, either checking out the masterclass, the retreat, either in person or virtually, what would you say to them?
Well, for the master class, I'd say put your fears aside. Just lay down your fears, because I am very much into the acronym. Fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. And it's some kind of block that's up for you that it's probably not even a belief that's yours. That, you know, and so give yourself the gift of the 30 days and minimally the 14 days of healing, and move beyond those fears. By the way, I love how in the healing sessions that you just kind of like see the picture, let it go, see the picture, let it go, and you know, because that holding on to that stuff takes us out of being in the present and keeps us out of being in the presence, and that's really where we should be living from, not the past. So if you know, so when in doubt, say no and take the class. Say no to the fear. Okay. In regards to the virtual retreat, if you even have any inkling that it might be talking to you that you need to be there, talk to Alon and see what it looks like. And again, if in doubt, give yourself the gift, because the truth is it's a gift to yourself. Okay, it's a gift to it's a gift to your returning home, to your authentic self. So anything else?
Amazing. No, thank you.